You know what really gives me the red ass?
Is it sitting?
It could be.
Yeah.
Probably not wiping. That definitely could be a rat ass.
Disgusting.
Well, I don't go that often. I sit all day for work. That's for sure. Well, I mean, it's a red episode, so I had to say the joke.
Welcome to the red episode where we're saying jokes of the
Exactly. That's what I say. Whatever the hell that was.
I don't know. It's somebody's in the background somewhere.
Spooks.
Everyone, this is exciting. This is the red episode of The Frenzy. I'm stoked. I'm drinking water from my now vintage Toy Frenzy pint glass tonight.
Nice.
Speaking of which, if you're interested in soon-to-be vintage Toy Frenzy merch, there's a link right down below. Those Toy Frenzy items are only going to be available for the month of April. And it's going to switch over to The Frenzy after that. So
halfway there.
Halfway there.
Oh. Almost halfway.
Almost halfway there. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm okay.
Hanging in there.
How about you? Well, it's The Frenzy. I have to change it up now.
I'm okay. How about you? You got to change it by adding 5 more words.
Okay. I am doing not too bad. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Right.
Keep workshopping that one for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I know the sentence makes no sense, but it's still funny.
Look, all right. Give the man some credit. Gotta get.
Oh, come on now, all right?
Well, you're only getting a rash if you're not taking care of yourself.
That's not true. I was just telling you I had the allergies.
That's true. That's true. Allergy season is upon us, folks.
Yeah.
It is
So
killer.
if you see me doing this, it's because my back is bugging the hell out of me from allergies.
Yeah. It's the heat. It's the heat and the pollen.
Yes, the pollen.
Ugh, nasty stuff right now.
Well, we've got a bunch of people in the chat already. Shall we go through and say hi to them?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's hit it. We've got Ace saying, "Oh my God, it's finally Thursday." That's right? We kind of like all wait for this, moment all week long. I get more excited Wednesday going into Thursday than I actually do from Thursday into Fridays.
Yeah.
Like Fridays are exciting. It's the end of the work week. Every other week it's a pay week, but Thursdays are always 10 times more exciting to me.
Monday's like one day, but Tuesday's more like 3 to 4 days. And Wednesday's like 2 weeks.
I just fucking watched The Jerk the other day.
So good. It's so good.
I knew what you were doing.
There you go. The Jerk is so good. We just watched it too not too long ago.
Yeah.
That is still such a classic. Such a classic.
I've
movie.
not seen that movie in when was the last time I did watch it? I used to watch a lot of Steve Martin films because he was just hysterical. Growing up, he was one of my comedy icons. Him and Candy.
Yeah, those dudes are great. Classic.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Mm-hmm. We have Vine Jungle Figure Factory.
Alan, great to see you.
Then we have JMax77 saying he's ready. Ooh.
Nice.
And we've got Thanos Copter. What's going on, brother?
Great to see you, Thanos.
And the Duchess of Darkness coming in and hanging out with us. Also has a new merch store up herself, finally selling some Duchess of Darkness merch.
Absolutely.
So great design. Yeah, great design.
Yeah. Ronald Embry is here as well, hanging out.
Great to see you, Ron.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the moment.
All right.
Well, good.
Right?
So what's new? I mean, it's been 2 weeks. Let's see if we can get our bearings. It's been 2 weeks. The last episode of The Frenzy, there were a ton of Masters of the Universe announcements.
Yes.
So
much we had to take a week off.
So much. It was exhausting, to be honest with you.
It was tiring.
This is a lot.
it was a lot. And since then, I think we've all kind of experienced a few disappointments in that regard. Like, things being designated to Walmart always freaks us out.
Yeah. I mean,
but
I'm happy to still see we're getting stuff, right? Like they're still investing in the property. They've still got more stuff coming out. So whether it's easily obtainable or not, they're still working on the property. And that says something, because we all know they have no qualms about just shutting it down, cutting it off, and you're done.
Right.
Yeah, we've seen that happen every time before. It's always been it's done. And I keep waiting for that to happen. Part of me is sort of anticipating it after this big round of reveals. Something like that might happen. But, Mattel's been surprising every step of the way, I think, like, revealing characters that we never thought we would have, and, putting stuff on Mattel Creations. And then, when they were saying they were going to do everything through Mattel Creations and they're still doing it through Target and Walmart, it's like, well, okay, that's different.
It was that they were gonna finish out Origins through Mattel Creations, which is what we're getting, because Origins is just the remake of the Vintage line. That is strictly through Creation, and that's what they've been doing. What we're getting differently is that with the cartoon line and then the fan favorites, those were supposed to be at mass retail, and they said they were backing off of the retail exclusives. But instead, they doubled down on it, and they're going even harder on it. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, it's cool, like you said. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen in-hand images of Leech yet, the Masterverse Leech.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He looks amazing.
Princess of Power version Leech too, which I like the fact that the She-Ra toys we're getting in Masterverse are all based off of their Filmation look. And I think that's really cool. I'm excited. I've been enjoying every one that they've come out with. I'm just hoping we eventually get to Bo. I enjoyed the Bo toy. It was one of my sister's toys. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, Bo's kind of a cutie, right? I mean, you gotta get a Bo. Heart on his chest. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Now, something we haven't discussed is, a lot of folks that watch this show are into Turtles of Grayskull. And one thing that I meant to announce the last time we did the Frenzy, we are, I don't know how we're going to do it tonight, but we're going to do it. We have from friend of the channel, Aaron Davies, we have a Turtles of Grayskull He-Man.
Nice.
The grape sherbet He-Man, and grape armor Donatello from Turtles of Grayskull that we are going to give away tonight. I don't know how we're going to do it.
Oh, it's
we're
going to
do
it.
It.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. I'm anxious to get those. Oh, and they're unpunched too. So people collect on card. These are in really good shape, and huge thank you to Aaron.
Card.
How about we have them tell us why they all hate the Turtles?
Ooh, that's a good idea. The person who comes up with the oh man, that would be really tough for pretty much everybody that watches this show, I think. So you know what? I have to also say, Ace is mentioning there have been a handful of random figures from different properties on sale for hella cheap, less than $10. Scooping up some of those. Yeah, that's cool. Wherever you can find the clearance figures, like that's been the fun thing I do on the weekends now is stop by Ross or stop by a store and
what
see
type of figures are it? Just Masters figures or anything?
It says different properties for Ace. For me, I'm looking for
I say different properties. Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Ace, let us know what you found. Also, Ace, recently became a patron of the Skelevator channel.
Yes.
And Ace, I sent you a message. You got to let me know what character you want a painting of, because that's what I do for my first time Patreons. Is I'll send you a painting of a character, and you still got to tell me what character you want. Doesn't matter. It could be any character. It could be, it could be any character. So yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, since you mentioned that, I wanted to say that thanks to Allison Troy for joining my Patreon as
Cool.
well.
Yeah.
She's been watching all my videos, and I really appreciate that. So thanks, Allison.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And soon I'll be getting some stickers made up too, and I'm going to be handing those out to my Patreon members as well too.
That's awesome. Yeah, our goal for May, and that's one of my goals for May, is to get some Frenzy stickers made. So we've got that coming too for folks who are interested. So a lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yep.
And tonight being the red episode, I've got a segment, Weekly Weirdo, and I was like, what character from Masters of the Universe doesn't have a little bit of red? I was like, really, it's like challenging for me to figure out what to talk about, because red is such an important color in pretty much every IP. So I'm glad we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I got
it's
red
very
here.
Powerful color.
Superman.
Very powerful color.
So next week, blue or green.
Yeah, exactly.
Go through all the colors every week.
We'll be the Sesame Street of YouTube.
Yeah,
Go through
right.
We'll be teaching colors.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We are now the Sesame Street of YouTube. In fact, I did include Elmo on our.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I know exactly which Sesame Street character to include for every color, right?
I can strangle Elmo, but yeah.
Yeah, Elmo's like probably my least favorite.
Yeah, I don't like Elmo.
Muppet. But the picture I chose of him, he's got the crazy eye going on. Like sometimes Elmo looks like he's a bit strung out, and I kind of love that.
You saw it before when I put in the patron chats those little memes. I make it's always like I want to kick Elmo's ass. You know what the
totally.
Two Muppets standing next to each other.
Totally. Night One is here. Good to see you, Night One. And also shout out to Duchess of Darkness, because yesterday's episode, I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm really excited. I'm a huge fan of cryptids. So I'm a little bit obsessed, actually. I haven't really talked about that much on this show. And so I'm really excited to listen to the Bigfoot episode of Wicked Wednesday that she launched on her channel yesterday. So
yeah, it's good.
Duchess, I'll be listening to that tomorrow when I'm supposed to be working. That's what I'm going to do. Anyways, I just did a lot of talking. I had a Coca-Cola right before hopping on.
That does that for you? You don't drink a lot of caffeine?
I'm about to crash. If I have a soda, the caffeine kicks in first. A pop. If I have a pop, sorry, Bobby. Yes, yeah. Sorry, Bobby. If I have a pop, the caffeine hits me first, and then the sugar takes me down. So in about 15 minutes, you're going to see Skelly like this.
You should have the no sugar just style instead of the regular.
What do you mean, like diet?
No, there's a no sugar as well. It's diet, but they call it no sugar. And
it
tastes more like the regular than a diet does.
Really? Does it have? I just can't stand the aspartame or the fake sugar. Yeah. It gives me a headache.
Oh, okay.
If you drink the zero, it tastes like the original. It doesn't have that aspartame aftertaste. Because I can't stand that either. I don't touch the diet, but I'll have a Coke Zero or like a cherry Coke Zero. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Right on.
Dr. Pepper is the best, but yeah.
I was just going to ask, what's everybody's favorite pop?
Dr. Pepper. I used to be a Coke fan. I used to be a real big Coke fan, but yeah. I had to get
Adam, how about you?
Pretty much Coke Zero. I drink it like water.
I've never had Coke Zero before. We gotta get on board with this.
Yeah, gotta get the zero stuff.
We can be the Zero Boys.
I like root beer.
Yes.
And
There's no
and
caffeine.
it's red. It's red.
They do
Unless
have
you
an
drink
A&W no
bars.
zero. Or zero. I'm sorry.
They have A&W root beer zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good.
I prefer the bottled Coke. They call it the Mexican Coke over here, and it's got real sugar in it. I love
the
that.
old
That's
style. Yeah.
old style.
That's
That's
the
my
good stuff.
favorite. My favorite Coca-Cola right there.
I used to walk those bottles down to the Jewel when I was a little kid so we can get
Oh,
money back for those things.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
carrying those like 4 blocks and then you. Yeah, it was heavy when I was
Yeah,
little.
totally. Hey, Kenzo says he loves Pepsi, and
Ugh.
Kenzo, happy birthday, man!
Yes, happy birthday.
It was Kenzo's birthday the other day.
Yep.
I know there's people who just can't do Pepsi. I'm cool with Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm not a Pepsi fan at all.
No, can't do the Pepsi.
It's Coke or Dr. Pepper. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Dr. Pepper too.
Yeah. Well, root beer is good too. I love root beer, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's various pops that I like, outside of Coke. I like cream soda, root beer. Those are all good.
Cream soda is good.
Birch beer is pretty good too.
Yeah.
The only kind of beers I can drink these days.
Yeah.
Oh, ginger beer. That's like
Yes.
ginger beer is amazing. Love it. Love it.
Fizzy lifting drink.
What was that?
Fizzy lifting drink.
Fizzy lifting drink. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well, what's the first thing on our agenda today, guys? What do you want to do?
Well, what are you excited about this week?
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Did we create a thing for that?
No.
No. It's just, what are you excited about?
You want
What
me to
are
create one?
you-
I'll do one.
Yeah, I got some things too. What are you guys excited about? No, go ahead.
No, I
Man.
didn't. I was saying that if you wanted me to create the opening for that, I wasn't saying.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said you had. I thought you said you had something.
No, I don't have anything. I'm not excited about nothing. I'm excited to get rid of this rash. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Disgusting.
It's not that bad. Come on.
Yeah,
It's an allergy thing.
Yeah,
Of course.
I know.
It's hives.
I get it
What
too.
can I do?
I get it too with heat.
Yeah, it's a hive.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
This time of year, that stuff's rough, but we make it
Yeah.
through every year, and then it just comes around again the next year.
Every year.
So my back is red. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Bobby's back.
Perfect. That's what Bobby's excited about.
Yeah, that's right. Oh shit.
Adam, anything you're excited about?
Yeah, and it's in theme for today. It's Motu Classics Modulock.
Beautiful.
This will be the last one I get for a while. I've got to focus on paying off Castle Grayskull.
Oh yeah.
So this one came with an extra leg because whoever had it before, they wanted to do the filmation thing.
Okay.
It's kind of a 3-legged filmation. But of course, you can add on, kind of the ant parts in the back.
Nice.
That's so cool.
So yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a great figure. Pretty much all new parts. You can add the second head if you want. Do all kinds of crazy stuff with him.
That is a fun figure.
Yeah.
Modulock is one of the best.
Yeah, he is. One of the
Yeah, and
strangest.
and for whatever reason, like his action feature is literally the whole point of Origins, and we still don't have him in Origins.
We'll
I
get
know,
them.
right?
They're giving us piece by piece.
Yeah.
we'll have a multicolored Modulock before we know it.
Yeah, you'll get a box
Sure.
of feet first, and then a box of hands.
I want to get the Christmas Modulock, the all red and green Modulock. It's just
It comes with the Santa hat that
yeah, just
There you
put a
go.
Santa hat on them. Modulock.
I know that we've said it before on Toy Frenzy, but Modulock is in the Filmation cartoon one of the best villains.
Yes.
His voice is super creepy. I mean, he's legitimate scary in the cartoon. Love that.
That's not what Skeletor says, though.
No, Skeletor thinks He's the scariest.
What do you say? You're a weak scientist, so you'd be a weak villain, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Or a wimp. I think.
Yeah,
a
wimp,
sign.
yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
shitting on him all over him.
It's funny.
Allison says blue Modulok. Modulok should be like Skittles, all the colors.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just a grab bag of multicolored parts. Just
Definitely.
make 20 different versions.
Why
of it.
not?
Yeah.
I'd be down to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that for sure. Christmas Modulok is a fun idea. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, Terrence. Good to see you.
Always good to see him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited actually because some of the pickups I had in the last week, partially by Terrence, got some more awesome Mythic Legions. I ended up building a Horde, which was very, very red. If you saw the thumbnail this past weekend, because the Horde from Warcraft, red, like what they're known for, their color. But now I have 2 Valiant Knights, by the way.
Ooh, let's get a close look.
Yep. There's that first one that I got. Just kind of kept them armored down a little bit. Then second one, I popped his pauldrons on to give him a bit of a different look, the alternate head. And I'm going to be doing a couple of poses with him holding the sword because he can, he can do the heavy sword aloft pose as well as he can actually like kneel down and hold the sword like kneeling with it, which is part of a project that I'm going to help my aunt with because my uncle for some reason really likes this pose of a knight kneeling with his sword. So I'm going to like take some photos with that and then go into Canva and do crazy stuff with it.
That's cool.
But as far as building my horde goes of orcs, last week I was going to talk majorly about the Fury Clan orcs, which are red.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
But
holy moly.
Not the orcs I'm building. So this is my orc shaman.
Wow.
And oh man, he is great. Not to mention,
that's amazing.
It's yet another scale of figure within Mythic Legions because here's like the little champion that I have for my orc collection that I made from a deluxe orc legion builder.
Yeah.
So like cool. You can see how he just towers over him. Now he's not quite as big as like the half giants or the ogre scales. He's a little bit smaller. And then here's my other little orc figure that I put together with some of the other parts as well. And I love the fact that his shield is a turtle shell.
Yeah.
But not like the Turtles of Grayskull. He's got like a snapping turtle shell.
Yeah.
It's from one of the goblins actually, but just really like those bone weapons. And if you're wondering how big this is, if you remember when we had Matt Rodriguez on, he was talking about his brute scale. His brute scale is huge. This is much different. This is their new brute scale figure and compared to their giant. So not quite as big, but still pretty impressive.
Wow.
Man.
So, yeah.
Your collection's blowing up, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my god. These Mythic Legions are nuts, and I've been going a little crazy with it. I gotta go easy for a little while. And when we do the Journey Across the Awesome Verse segment, I'll get into where my collection's going next. Oh, actually, one more thing. If I can reach it here. So everybody was going crazy about Tigra the one week, and I just happened to notice on Amazon that they had the Dungeons and Dragons Drizzt 2-pack. So comes with his panther and that sweet, sweet, beautiful panther that comes with Tigra is not articulated. So I had to make sure I got myself an articulated panther.
Very cool.
That's cool.
And then I thought about it and I was like, man, I almost kind of want to get another one and make a articulated Cringer, but Mattel's beating me to it.
Or you make the cat version of Catra.
That's true too. I could just put a little mask on it. That'd be all right. Be a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Just give it a little spritz of purple and
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little armor pieces. I'm sure Kenzo could probably come up with something.
Yeah.
That man is making all kinds of amazing stuff on his 3D printer.
Some Frenzynauts will be able to put that together for you. I do want to say that I've been on kind of I'm wearing the Superman shirt, but it's kind of appropriate, not just because of the red, but because I've been watching Super Friends, the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon in the evenings now, because Aaron Davies sent me a bunch of burned copies
Nice.
of the Super Friends cartoon.
Epic.
And appropriately, it's going back a couple of months now. This 1977 New Adventures of Batman Joker
Cool.
was released from McFarlane Toys. And I know a lot of people have like their favorite version of the Joker. This is my favorite version. In all the comics that I collected during my Batman phase in the late 80s, this was the Joker that was my favorite. This is my favorite Joker. Even the more modern iterations of him, I'm just not a huge fan. But 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s Joker was my favorite Joker. And so I was really excited to get this guy on Amazon for like, I don't know, he was like $11.99 or something. Very affordable.
Can I just say, now that I have you full screen, how beautiful that Beastman shelf looks behind you?
Oh yeah, look at that.
That looks so good.
That is good.
They get the Skeletor and
garbage.
Beastman.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, these. I'm really. These are. I just reorganized everything, but these remain the same. Ever since the Mondo Beastman came in from the Patreons, I just
cool.
yeah.
It looks great, man.
Thank
What
you.
a bunch of junk.
What a bunch of crap.
Yeah, crap.
Honestly, like once a week I take that Mondo Beastman out and just sort of cradle him. Like it's just
it's your woof woof.
He's so great. He's like my blankie now. Like I'm so happy to have that thing. And I feel so fortunate to have him. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out a way to do an appreciation video. So I have, for those of you that are Patreons and you contributed to getting that Beastman for me, you saw a clip of the video, my thank you video. So I have that saved. I have the full version saved on my phone, and I'm going to add that into like an appreciation video for the YouTube channel of that Mondo Beastman. I just can't. I don't know exactly how to approach it yet. I don't want to do a review. I want it to just be like maybe just 30 minutes of just Beastman. I don't know, of just him sitting on the couch or something.
No,
I don't know.
You get a bicycle, you get a basket, and you put it in the basket, and you drive around your neighborhood, and you film yourselves having a fun day.
My neighbors wouldn't be surprised. They see me outside doing photos all the time. They're like, "Oh, that guy's at it again."
Now you need to get like a double car seat, like baby car seat, like for twins. Get your Mondo in one and your Jumbo in the other, and take them for a ride.
Aww. That's a good idea. What about you, Bobby? You haven't gotten anything, Bobby?
I have, actually.
Oh, what did you get?
I got the
New
Eternia Trapjaw.
Nice.
You guys playing the buttons?
Go ahead, Oz.
All right.
Yeah, Duchess got me this, so I appreciate that very much.
That's beautiful.
Yes, I like it. I love it now. So
he's a great figure.
Yeah. Now you put that metal jaw on his mouth because that's closer to a New Eternia version than a regular trap jaw.
Yeah, I got the metal jaw too.
Yeah, it's just cool. It's similar to the that concept art. And then Skelly sent me this motherfucker this week. It's Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Fucking reaction figure.
There you go.
I love it.
Look at D.
I know D's awesome. I love him.
He is.
He's been in my life forever because I've always loved Twisted Sister. But yeah,
that's the album cover. That's the album cover that I first saw of theirs.
yeah,
him holding that big
bone,
big bone, and I remember. I remember as a kid seeing that and thinking how cool that is, and then finally noticing in grocery stores that those were being sold. You could buy one. I kept bugging my dad every time I go to the grocery store. Can I get one?
Yeah.
What for? Just to be a badass. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Yeah, all my friends, we all had the cassette tape, so we'd go over each other's house and listen to it. And then my friend, he lived upstairs of his house, and his bedroom was, and we'd hang out the window and we all scream like in the video.
Yeah,
we're all stupid.
We're not going to take it.
It's
an anthem.
Yes, it is. It's part of my life.
Yeah,
so I appreciate you guys.
I forget who it was that was running for class president in high school, but their whole theme was like, we're not going to. I remember the kid's name who was president at the time for Student Body Council or whatever. Their name was Jeff. So, like, the whole campaign slogan was, we're not going to take Jeff anymore.
That's funny.
I thought it was great. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was Pedro.
Kenzo.
It was a vote for Pedro. We're not going to take Jeff anymore.
Vote for Pedro. Don't vote for Jeff.
That's right.
We're not going to take Jeff.
So
I could see his brother and Napoleon fighting over that.
Totally.
I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take you. Gosh.
I need to watch that again. That movie is great too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I actually can't stand that movie. I'm one of the minority that just. I watched that movie sober, waiting for it to get really funny, like everybody said it was. It just wasn't. So I drank a bunch and I watched it again, waiting for it to be funny, and it wasn't. And then I smoked a bunch and started to watch it again. And after about 15 minutes, I was like, nope, I'm not wasting another minute of my life on this damn movie.
You gave it a good try, though. You tried 3 different versions, and
I tried to make it appealing and funny to me, and I just couldn't. There are some funny parts, like when the kid, like, it's sad because it's a bully, but like when he kicks his pocket and crushes the tater tots in his pocket, like, well, that sucks, but that was funny. When he tells her she could totally drink whole milk, I was like, that's a smooth pickup line right there. And then when he throws the steak,
look at
Uncle
listen
Rico
to Oz enjoying this movie right now.
Those are my 3 favorite parts, and that's it. Out of that, just those 3. I can't stand the rest of that movie.
First time I saw it, I thought it was genius. Here's this little town, and you think it's in the 80s, but it's actually modern times. It just shows you how backwards that those people are. And it's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny. I love it.
And really, that's like it feels very much like the area where I live.
Yeah.
So I can't get enough of looking at that landscape.
And then when Uncle Rico, he's always worried about, because his time has passed, and he's like, he whips that steak and it's Napoleon.
That was a genuinely funny part. He's just like, you want to see something? And he snatches it. I'd have been mad as hell. Somebody snatched a steak off my plate and then throws it, smacks him right in the face. That was funny.
There is one scene when he's driving the van and what's his name? Napoleon throws that melon at the truck or the van.
Oh yeah.
And I think he didn't know that was going to happen because he looked genuinely scared because he looked scared, like for real. And it was just,
yeah.
It's funny as hell.
Hey, Kenzo was a small town kid too.
Really?
High five, Kenzo.
You small town rats.
Yeah.
Thanos mentions, get baked out of your mind and watch The Conqueror with a friend. Most he's ever laughed in any movie ever. So we'll have to take notes. We got to watch The Conqueror.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time someone says
The Conqueror, or well, I worry about the fact that I have to get baked to watch it first.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
but I'm willing to give it a shot. Like I said, I gave Napoleon Dynamite 2 1/3 chance, and I said I realized how much of my life I'd wasted on trying to watch this movie and wait for it to be funny already, and I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
Right, like it doesn't get any funnier no matter what state of mind I was in. Okay, that version of the movie.
No,
I have seen that movie before. I will.
I'm realizing now that Thanos has written that. I have not seen the movie, so I thought I had seen it, but I would have remembered John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Right.
That's crazy.
That movie gets a little bit of heat now, but it's definitely a classic.
Oh my gosh. I'm writing that down. Where's my pen and paper?
Analog tablet and stylus, analog style.
You got a red pen?
No, it's a blue pen. Dang it.
You're awful.
Oh, wait, I do have a red pen.
I was going to say, where's your grading pen?
There it is.
Working at college. Where's your grading pen? There you go.
Oh boy, I hope this is entertaining for everybody that's watching it.
They're all right now getting really drunk and waiting for us to be funny. They're gonna get really high and wait for us to be funny.
Well, a lot of hey, you know what? This is real life, folks. This is real life.
That's it. That's it.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die, Thanos, because
that's right.
Yeah, then we wouldn't
have a huge
Thanos.
Bummer. We'd love to have
a huge bummer.
Well, I guess that's a good way to go, though, if you're laughing, right?
I guess,
yeah, that's right. Good point.
It's the Joker's preferred method of taking people out.
You could be on an airplane taking a crap and getting sucked out the fucking toilet, when you flush. I mean, that's pretty bad. So
you don't want to go that way.
You don't want to go. You don't want to be the guy.
Unless you're laughing.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, some people might laugh after they find you like half stuck in the toilet seat. Like,
well, yeah, those people will be laughing, but it's not a way of laughing going out.
No.
I gotta say, Alan, Deathstalker is great. That's awesome. It is wonderfully bad. I'm a big fan of Deathstalker. What was the name of the movie that came out? It must have been late 80s, early 90s. All right, bud. Right on.
We appreciate you, bud. This bud's for you.
What was the movie, the barbarian movie with the twins?
Barbarians.
Okay.
Really what it's called. It's on Tubi right now. You can watch it for free. Go check it out.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It's
oh man,
that one was bad.
Go check it out, Bobby. I know you watch Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi's awesome. Yeah.
And they've got a lot of the classic sword and sorcery movies on there that are, again, for their time, they were pretty great. Now they're kind of like, I don't know. Yeah. But Barbarians certainly did not hold up, but it's still great to watch.
It's that 80s cheese,
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, cool to us back then, but now it's like,
right.
It's still so much fun to watch. I mean, those movies get crazy.
Well, those twins, they acted in a couple different movies too, because they were in that one. There was another movie where they were truckers. Yeah. They were great for those terrible B movies of the 80s.
We gotta do a whole episode on the twins. No, let's not do that.
Attack of Large.
It's a lot of. We'll have to do a show on 80s trucker movies, right?
Probably 70s, most likely, maybe.
Well, you can do 70s into the 80s, but like stuff like what was the one with the arm wrestling with Sylvester Stallone?
Okay,
there was that one,
and there was the orangutan one with Clint Eastwood.
Oh, Everything Which Way But Loose. That's a great movie. I love it.
I almost said Dunstan Checks In, but that's a different orangutan movie. That's not even an orangutan. That's a chimpanzee, right?
That would have been a much different movie.
Yeah, that's funny.
But then, oh man, well, Big Trouble in Little China, technically.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like,
that's amazing.
Let's do that. Let's especially like that part of my background from working with the moving companies and everything. So I would say, yeah,
moving.
let's do a whole episode of trucker movies.
Isn't there an Emilio Estevez movie with that where they're moving like they work for a moving company or something?
I believe so. Yeah.
Men at Work, and also Emilio Estevez, Maximum Overdrive. Does that count? Yeah.
That should. So look, let's say my favorite movie is Hair. All right, look. First off, Hairspray. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And that's a classic from here.
Yeah. Hairspray, the original version. The original version. John Waters.
Even scenes from the newer one were still filmed here in Baltimore. Not as much of it, because John Waters, he gets out there. Like, you could just randomly walk onto a John Waters set and not realize you're a part of the movie until you realize, oh shit, I'm in a John Waters movie.
I love John Waters. He's fantastic.
He is one of the most
great artists,
lovely human beings to ever meet.
Oh, you got to meet him? That's cool.
Yeah, well, if you're local here, you will find.
That's cool.
Are you in one of the movies?
I am an extra in a movie, inadvertently in the background for Pecker.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You catch me right out
on a screenshot of that.
Right there.
Yeah.
I'll have to go find it, but yeah, it was back in my days of having hair too.
Everybody go find that scene. Everybody watching right now, don't leave yet, but go find that scene after the show is over.
Yeah, I enjoy Crybaby. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Crybaby is amazing, and I've hung out around Turkey Point and everything.
Yeah,
it's cool. A fun place to be.
That's awesome.
I remember my older sister took me to that when I was a kid. But like every time there was some kind of scene that she thought I shouldn't watch, she would cover my eyes.
Yeah. That's what my parents would do. Shut your eyes.
Yeah, because when you're a kid, you really shouldn't watch all these movies. Like Hairspray is pretty okay, pretty tame. Crybaby's decent. Like, I don't know, it gets bad. But then most of his other stuff, it's like you should not have kids watch this.
I'm pretty sure that if your formative years were in the late 70s or early 80s, you saw a bunch of movies you weren't supposed to see.
Oh, that was what we strived on.
Yeah, it was the fuel. It was the
Porky's and Hard.
I was gonna say, like, I remember being 10 years old watching Porky's and Police Academy and stuff.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh man, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
The raunchy comedy was the thing, right?
What is it? Hard Bodies, Spring Break. I've seen all those.
Oh man. And then like the scary things too. Like, I don't know how many times my dad was like, this movie's supposed to be good, let's watch it. And then it'd be like, just like terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great stuff. The 80s, late 70s, early 80s, just a great time for cinema.
A lot of bad ones out there, but a lot of good ones too.
Yeah, Porky's did not age well. That's true.
Most of them did not age
really
well. Let's face it.
They're
still funny, but they are a very time period.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But yeah,
I think it's Porky's too, where the guys are dressed up as zombies and they stop in front of the police car and they're like, it's so funny, man. It's hilarious.
Hey, and Duchess was an extra in Vegas Vacation. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa, everyone was an extra. That's awesome. Major League 2.
At Orioles Stadium too, which is another big
that's cool. That is so cool.
That would have been back when it was Memorial Stadium for.
That's so great. Anybody else extras? Let us know in the chat. That's cool that everybody's been. Allison, it's true. There is some bad stuff in Porky's too.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some.
Oh my gosh, Allison was an extra in The Faculty, Miss Congeniality, and a beer commercial.
Really?
That's amazing, Allison. That's cool.
My experience of being an extra was inadvertent, so I can't say that it wasn't fun, because when you just kind of happen to walk into filming, it's kind of fun. I was just going about my day, and it turns out, oh hey, look.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you could get into one of those extras, and then you get a part where you can say like, "These pretzels are making me thirsty."
Yeah. I basically, I'd just based on the people who have responded in the chat.
Yeah.
We got 17 people watching now. I think over half of the people in the chat have been an extra in a movie. That's incredible.
And I went to broadcasting school and all that kind of shit, and I wasn't in anything. I got to see some films being made, but I was never an extra.
Oh, man,
I saw the Batman being made, the second one.
Batman Returns?
Yeah, they cut the scene. They made me walk all the way around. I had to carry all these tools because I was going between two offices for work. They're like, "Well, you can't go this way. They're filming." I'm like, "What the fuck? Fuck Batman." And I was so pissed off. And then they ended up cutting the scene anyway. So I was like, "Yeah, piece of shit."
Now, they were looking for extras for Queen of the Damned, like around the corner when I was working at Kmart.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at a time when I had the long hair, I had the fangs and everything.
Yeah, goth Oz.
I was totally down for going, but my supervisor would not let me go on break.
Oh, man.
Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles are the best books to ever read in your life.
That's what I've heard.
Great books.
I own all of them. I read them all. They're fantastic.
The execution on the movies was not always best, but they're okay. If you go into them as these are vampire movies, because honestly, when I first saw Interview with a Vampire, I had no idea about the books. So going in to see that movie, I thought it was pretty cool for a time. Read the books afterwards, and it was like, "Oh, these are good."
Yes, they're much more than just a vampire book. They're so amazing.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never read them, but I've heard that.
They're deep. They go deep.
I'll get there.
History and all kinds of stuff like that. It's amazing. It's a big world.
Great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So this vampire talk goes into the topic of Red with Blood.
There you go.
Keeping on point, people. We are keeping on point.
It matches.
Well, Marius in the Vampire Chronicles, he's always red. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome,
nice,
bud. That's a cool thing to inherit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
It really is. I actually got into the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter novels, if anybody's familiar with those. Those are pretty cool. Well, they were really good up until a certain point, and then they just kind of, I don't know, they lost me after a while because they start off like she's a vampire hunter and there's mysteries involved, and then eventually like it veers off and it's way less about mysteries and stuff. And I was like, this was really cool when it started. Not so much.
Yeah, I tried to read Brian Lumley. I can't. He's hard to read for me, and he's different.
Yeah, I haven't read any of that stuff. I keep waiting. I read. I keep waiting for my dark fantasy phase to hit me. I've never gone through a phase where I'm like, I gotta read about vampires and werewolves, because which is crazy to me because I love them. Like they're like part of my life, an integral part of my life. But I've never had the urgency to sit down and read the books, and they just exist in film land for me. Yeah. But it's coming. It's coming.
A few books to read if you like werewolves would be The Wolfen.
Oh yes, Whitley Strieber, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic book. Then you have The Howling is really good.
Yeah.
And then there's another one called The Wolfman. It's by the kid died that wrote it. I can't remember his name. I got all these books. I'll have to tell you. Yeah, if you want suggestions, I got a lot of suggestions.
I've been wanting to read The Wolfen because I read Communion right around the time when the movie came out, and I loved the book. The movie wasn't great, but
the book. You like him?
Whitley Strieber's like he's intense, man.
And I have a lot of his books. If you want them, I'll give them to you.
I mean, he's continued
except
to
for the
write
wolf,
too.
and I won't give you that one.
No, he's continued to write about his alien experiences too.
Yeah, he's big on that.
I'm kind of fascinated by that. I'd read him if you sent him my way. If you're looking to make room on your shelves.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ace is mentioning the Giallo B movies with blood and red in the titles. Absolutely, come on, fantastic. Yes, love that stuff. You know who's a big fan of that stuff is El Tenda. I don't know if you've all been watching El Tenda's movie collecting that he's been doing over on his channel. But he loves the Giallo.
He's been bringing in some of the goodies.
Oh yeah. Love that stuff. Suspiria, man. Suspiria is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still have not seen that.
Oh, you gotta
it's like it's like on that long list of movies I've never seen that's been around forever.
Yeah.
You just go, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But then you don't.
I've been clicking off some movies I haven't seen before, and it's been good. I just haven't get to that one yet. Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie. The soundtrack is epic.
Yep.
And I don't usually advocate for this, but the remake was actually quite good too.
I'm never
the
big
recent
on
remake.
Yeah. Never big on remakes.
It's a different experience. It's a different experience. So I appreciate it for what it is. It's both are great in different ways. Yes, Allison is making a good point. It's glorious, and it's the last Technicolor movie. The color in Suspiria is worth it. The color and the soundtrack just amazing.
When I was a manager at a movie theater, I made one of my guys. He was a usher, and we were in the mall. So I said, "Hey, you got to go down to the paint store. We're running out of Technicolor. We need to put it into the projectors so the movies can be shown as color." And he's like, "Okay." So he goes down there. The kid comes back, and the guy's like, "Well, he said there's no such thing as Technicolor." I'm like, "I'm telling you, we're going to run out of it. You got to go." So he ran back and said that I was really adamant on needing the Technicolor, and I had to break it to him that I was just joking with him.
Oh man,
it's like one of those new guys, you got to break them in type of thing.
Oh yeah, totally. Are you and I the only guys in this crew that have worked at a movie theater? Adam, have you worked in a movie theater?
No, I haven't.
Oz?
Neither did I. I actually always wanted to. It was like one of my dream jobs.
It was fun.
But I never did get a job there. Yeah, I also wanted to work at a rental store too. Like I tried to work at Blockbuster and all like that for the longest time. Just couldn't get a job there for the life of me.
I worked at a rental store when I was living down south in the LA area. Those of you who are watching, you probably know this rental store if you're a cinephile, but it's called Videotech. I think a couple people here live in Southern California. It used to be in South Pasadena, but now it's in Echo Park or Eagle Rock or something. But Videotech, very cool video store. Yeah, Oz, you can still do it. Just do it on the side. Find a video store and do it.
Well, the problem is they'd probably want me to work on Saturday nights, but I have this other thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, making all kinds of money on the YouTubes.
I think what you're doing is more interesting than working in a video store on Saturday nights. Yeah,
very true. I always thought it would just be a great job to have, and I probably spent enough time at movie theaters to have been considered an employee, but I used to be at the movies like multiple times a week catching whatever the latest movie was, because I was a huge cinephile. I spent a lot of time there. Most of the money I made while working in high school was spent at a movie theater.
Yeah. I worked there when Pulp Fiction was out, and
me too.
And I was able to, but yeah, being a manager there was a lot of fun. But yeah, I was able to grab the big, was it like 6 foot long banner for the Pulp Fiction?
Oh,
I think it's worth like $3,000 right now or something.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that's cool. So cool. Hey, that's cool. I knew I either Ace or someone else would know, but yeah, that's cool. You have friends who works there. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I worked there. Goodness, going back, what would that be now? 12 years ago. So it's been a while, but that whole crew is great. They're great people, and that's the place to go if you want to find obscure films. Little commercial for Videotech. But yeah, cool. Well, who wants to go first? We've got some exciting stuff tonight to talk about. I think everybody's sticking to the red theme for their segments.
Yeah, sure.
Not so much for me anymore. Like, I was geared up for it last week because it kind of led into my Saturday show, but this week I'm kind of dropped the ball with it a little
That's
bit.
all right. That's all right. We'll find a way to make it relatable. There's probably a way.
So Oz goes first.
So Oz, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely go first.
All right, let me get you set up here. You ready for your segment?
Go.
It's time to buckle those seatbelts and you better grab a hold of something. We're going to journey through the awesome verse.
I love that. That is so good.
Thank you, Bobby. I really appreciate you putting the voiceover out for that because it really just makes it.
No, thank you. Don't ask me again. No.
So the last week I was going to talk more because it was going to lead into that Saturday show with the orcs, and I was going to talk about the Fury clan orcs within Mythic Legions. But the truth is, there really wasn't a whole lot about them. It's just one quick little blurb. So then I was kind of like, okay, well, I'll still talk about them a little bit, but not really. This week I've decided there's something else I want to talk about because over the last week and going into this week, there's been a lot of fun things happen around ToyTube and a lot of build up within some of the associated channels of the Toy Network where we are getting excited, much like how there was the Merman March and everybody was really, really pumped about, getting out content and pictures of all the seamen all over March. And now going into May, we are gearing it up for May the Power of the Force. And what several toy tubers, including Allison, the retro toy princess, it was actually kind of like her thing that she was starting. And then on like Punk's Pit, we ended up getting we started talking about, again, more into it, and it became like this really fun joke thing. All March long, all the seamen.
So, all year round, really.
Yeah, all over the place, everywhere.
Well, they say it's good for the skin.
Do not shine a UV light crazily.
They are good for the skin.
They're all good for the skin. And it sounds like our good buddy Thanos Copter is getting in on this too. So a lot of us are all we're trying to do at least, it's going to be, and mind you, this is not from each individual content creator. This is across channels. There are 31 days in May. We are working on doing 31 days of May the Power of the Force, where we're going to be going back and we are going to be reviewing old carded Power of the Force 2 figures from the 90s. Now, you can do this completely seriously if you like. I am not going to be doing mine no, that's not true. I'm actually going to be doing mine a little bit seriously. I'm actually going to be partnering with another content creator on doing mine. So more about that in a bit, because he and I've still got to smooth out the details there. I will be talking about Boba Fetish, because I have a Boba Fetish.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I've already got the first Shadows of the Empire 2-pack. Well, I say first. This is the first one that I picked up for this project. So I've got this version of Boba Fett with IG-88 from Shadows of the Empire.
The man.
In the original collection for Power of the Force 2 in the 90s, there were 3 versions of the Boba Fett figure that came out. You also had the deluxe Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this guy. on the way in the mail, I have the green carded, like, later release of Power of the Force 2 Boba Fett. He will be coming. But while I was buying these guys at Attorney of Dreams, I just couldn't help myself. And some of you may have seen this past weekend, but like Skelly did on one of his early weekly weirdos, he was talking about how he loves the bounty hunters.
Oh,
So I had to start picking out the bounty hunters too.
For sure.
And here we go. Dengar, Bosk, Forlom. The only one they did not have out of the original crew was Zuckuss. So he is on the way. But it's going to be really exciting. We're all going to be diving in and doing videos based on different characters throughout Power of the Force 2. The other big thing about this is, too, while I was online and I was shopping and getting these figures, I am also going to be ordering the Power of the Force Boba Fett armor and Nerf blaster. If it's still available tomorrow, when I get paid, I will be ordering this as well. And it's the whole set. It's still in package. And yes, I will be wearing it for the review.
Well, that's exceptional. I'm very excited about that.
This armor is definitely made for some 6 or 7-year-old kid. And yes, a 300 plus man will be wearing the armor for the review.
I love that. That's brilliant.
I'm just gonna have fun with it, man. And I gotta tell you, this is like reignited again. Like, you know, back when I first had He-Man and I had Skeletor back in my hands with Origins, that got me into collecting action figures as a whole. I gotta say, picking these guys up and remembering, because most of my review is not going to be your atypical review. It's going to be a lot of that nostalgia factor that I had because I'm younger than quite a few of the other guys. So, like, for me, this was my Star Wars collection. These were my Star Wars toys.
That makes sense.
So, like, I'm going to talk about what it was like getting these figures for the first time when there was such a drought of Star Wars toys. After post 85 going into the 90s, there was like nothing. Then we finally had the Star Wars Bendums, the bendy figures or whatever, the rubber ones. And like, as cool as those were, it was like, this is a stupid lame action figure.
Yeah, they were pretty lame.
When I was comparing it to my Ghostbusters and He-Man toys, it was terrible.
Yeah. So. I mean, Power of the Force was huge. I mean, it was a big deal. And for those of us that were older, that had that played with the original Star Wars figures, it was like at the perfect time where you were old enough, you had a job, you could go out, you could go hunt these things down, and it was exciting. And even though they were like those first few waves, they were super buff and weird looking. Even though they were mutant Star Wars figures, it was just so cool. I really am excited. I'm hoping to be able to participate in this, Oz. When you told me about it, I was like, I'm going to see what I can find because those figures are so cheap.
Oh yeah, man. All of this right here, like what I got right here, all those figures, under $20.
Yeah, that's incredible.
For that whole stack. The other two that are on the way, the only reason that they actually ended up costing me like $30 is just because of shipping costs. Like literally each of the other figures was still under $10 for each one. Yeah. So, you know, like they are beautifully cheap. And now it's kind of got me wanting to start on a project that I always wanted to do when I was a kid. I've talked about it here where my Firehouse playset became my Jabba's Palace. And I used to put like the bounty hunters were all in there. And like so many of these other figures were in the Firehouse as a Dio. I've talked about how Jabba, the original Jabba's throne or playset from the original toys was like a grail for me. So it's going to happen, folks. I'm going to actually build my version of Jabba's Palace. I'm going to do it.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So
are you going to do that Are you going to do all of that in May?
No, I'm not going to do that whole thing in May. No. I still got Joe Fest that I'm deal with. But who knows? Maybe while I'm at Joe Fest, I'll be able to pick up a couple of pieces for that over time, and I'll definitely do some videos of making this, because I was looking at like the vintage collection Jabba the Hutt Palace. Like they got the trophy wall. And then there's even it's like the new one based off of the Book of Boba Fett, like the palace. It's all in vintage collection size. So I'm just thinking about getting those pieces and then adding the old Power of the Force 2 versions, because I'm not trying to get the vintage collection Denzians of Jabba's palace and whatnot to go in that, because they're a little bit pricier. The reason this is so exciting is because they are cheap.
Yeah, I saw at the antique store that my family and I usually go to when we're feeling antsy. We drive to downtown Clovis and go to the antique stores over there, and that's a town that's near us. And I saw a Power of the Force yak face there, and so I was like, oh, that sort of quenches that thirst. I know Bobby has the vintage yak face, which is like a huge deal.
A grail piece,
it's
rare.
a super grail piece, but I was like, oh, this thing's $12. Like I would love to get a Power of the Force yak face. It's a good looking figure too.
I might have one that's loose too.
Oh, cool.
Face. Yeah,
there you go.
Nice.
So I'll send it to you when I get it.
I did find a way, Oz, while you were talking. I found a way to make what you're talking about meet the parameters of the red episode, and that is the red lightsaber.
Ooh, let's look at that red lightsaber.
I mean, to me, it's the lightsaber. Just saying,
right?
So,
man,
there's a great red aspect to Star Wars, iconic.
Very iconic.
I'm excited. I'm gonna try and see. I have very strong, wonderful memories of getting that first wave. So I might see if I can participate too, Oz. It's a great idea. Brilliant.
Yeah. And here's the thing about it. Like I'm doing Boba Fett specifically, right? I'm doing the Boba Fettish thing. Other people can do Boba Fett too if they like it. Like you are not relegated to like, oh, only one person's doing this character. Some people are doing multiple versions of different figures. Like I happen to be doing all of the Boba Fetts, but I know like Darth Vader's being taken by like 2 separate people and they're doing different versions. Oh, the other fun thing is we're all going to be opening up signed Boba Fett figures. Or not Boba Fett figures. We're all going to be opening up signed Star Wars figures. They're all going to be signed. You'll have
signed
to tune
by
in
the actors.
You'll have to tune in and see, but I'll definitely show you what started the. Let me show you what exactly started that conversation real quick.
That's a little crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. They're opening up signed packages.
Oh yeah, we're going to be opening up signed figures. Hold on a sec here. I'll show you guys. Keep talking. I'm going to show you what started that conversation.
Okay.
Is this Alan from Alan Vine Jungle Figure Factory is saying, is this all skate? I'm not sure what that means, but I am a huge Wampa fan too. So high five there.
Definitely.
Was there a Power of the Force Wampa?
Yes, there was. I do believe it was a Luke and Wampa 2-pack.
It is. Yeah, I have that. Yep.
It was. It came out around the time of the special edition, so I think it's based more off of the special edition Wampa.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
I'll have to look into that. That's cool.
Don't buy nothing because I got all of them. So you guys need it. I'll get them for you.
That's cool. All right. Cool.
This is one that you don't have, Bobby, but I want to show it here.
Thank you, Bobby.
Is definitely, brother. I will be hitting you up because I need some. I definitely need some Denzians of Jabba's palace.
Yeah, because I got multiples as well, like the ones that have the sticker on it and the ones without the stickers on them.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but this was a very limited edition figure of Boba Fett, and instead of where it would normally have the portrait for the character in the movie, it's a picture of the actor Jeremy Bulloch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those are
I
real?
remember that. I remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
these are legit. This was a toy expo. You can see they're numbered, and you can see the price they're going for, and that's his signature. He had the same signature across all of them because a lot of people got these figures signed. So yeah, I was saying that I was going to purchase this one, for $400 and then open it.
Okay, so it's a joke. Okay, I get it.
That part's a joke, but because of that, we are opening signed. It was because of this joke we are opening signed figures. I'm just not opening that signed figure.
Oh, because that would be like
did you sign a figure and send it to somebody and they're going to open up an Oz signed figure?
There you go. Oh,
okay, yeah. So what it is, we're all just basically
brilliant.
signing them ourselves.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to blow it for you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, yeah, so Alan is asking, can anyone play? That's what all skate means. Alan is saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Awesome. That's fantastic. Join in, folks.
We want as many people to get in. Now, mind you, if you're. We're trying to figure out a schedule overall of everybody that's joining in. So Alan, if you need to, you can send me a message. I will put you in touch with God, I can't think of Lawrence, who's apparently overseeing everything, A Punk with Toys, our Thursday night rival. He is going to be kind of like overseeing everything as far as knowing when people are going to be releasing theirs and like what date. Because again, we want to make sure that we have enough. We want to have enough people to make 31 days, but it doesn't matter if we go over that number. Like we want this to blow up. We want it to be a huge thing, right? # May the Power of the Force. And so like, if you want to put out your video and everything like that, let us know. Like I said, I will definitely put you in touch with A Punk with Toys so you can send them your name, let them know what figure you want to do. And like I said, just these guys are like $5 a piece, really.
So
that's the idea.
So it's not # May the Power of the Force be worth more money in the future?
Yeah. Never, God, because
that'll never happen.
No, not these guys. Not these guys. Unless you're original vintage or newer modern vintage collection, they ain't going up in price.
What's crazy is that at the time when the Power of the Force figures came out, you could still get vintage figures for like $3 a pop.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or less at like garage sales and antique stores. Could. Man, that was an epic era for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Allison's got the right idea. We're actually driving up the value for whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on to eBay right now, and it's gonna be like $40 for the Greedo, right? Because of this. Because that's who I was thinking about, Greedo. The Power of the Force
Greedo would be great. Do it. That was man, I remember that figure and thought, man, this version is way cooler than the original version.
Yeah,
he had the coat, like like he actually looked more like he did in the movie to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So go for it, dude. Do Greedo. That would be great.
All right, it's a deal.
There was a guy like I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. He was trying to drive up the price of Ram Man figures by just buying every Ram Man. Like, I don't think he thought why that went through.
Yeah,
there's like a million Ram Man figures.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say, I don't think that one's working out too well for him. That was like somebody tried to claim our good buddy Dave over at Toy Police trying to drive up the price of Skeletors because he buys so many of them. It's like, you do realize that 90% of the ones he buys are like the damaged and broken.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
I mean, that would be interesting if Rami went up in price. I think that would be pretty epic. I mean, he's like he's sort of the cheapest feeling one. Like he feels the least worked on. So there's the least amount of artistry in that figure, it feels like. Sorry to the toy makers, but I think we can all kind of agree.
That was actually one of the few early figures that Tony Guerrero did not sculpt because he didn't like it, so he gave it to somebody else to sculpt.
Like, here, you work on this garbage. I got better things to do with my time.
Yeah, which is why it looks it's a much softer sculpt than a lot of things.
Yeah,
soft is a good
but
word.
It is unique for the line, though.
It's very
totally.
Unique,
yeah. I love
Ram Man.
I love my vintage Ram Man. I found one with the stickers intact on his wrists. So I was like, I'm stoked.
That's hard too to get. Yeah, mine has that too. I'm very happy mine has those.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
well, Oz, that's exciting.
A lot of people may joke on Masters Universe as far as reusing so much of the same bucks and parts and shared parts, but there are a lot of individually fully sculpted, non-reused
totally
pieces throughout there as well. So, they may have a lot of reuse, but there is a lot of individuality in those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Love it. Let's see. Ace is saying, I'm trying to get myself to like or care about Star Wars so that I can collect some of the figures I like without feeling like a total poser. Hey, don't force it, Ace. Yeah. You either love Star Wars or you don't. But I've known people that have like grown to love it. So if it happens naturally, embrace it.
Yeah, I was huge with Star Wars before Masters came out.
Real quick, I don't want him to feel left out, but Vicente chimed in and said, Porch Fest the 27th. I heard some great lineup right up my skelly. What he's talking about is there's a Porch Fest thing that happens in the Fresno area, which is near where I live, and it's music's bands playing out in the street and in front of people's houses and stuff. That's and awesome. I think that the band I've been working to build and record with might be doing that. So I think that's what he's talking about. No guarantee though, Vicente. So in case anybody was wondering what that cryptic message was.
No Ann's going to be playing at the Porch Fest?
Maybe. I'm starting to get nervous now.
Don't get nervous. Keep going.
Pit sweats.
But if any of you are interested, I can put that we do have an Instagram account. You should go check out the band.
Put the link in the chat.
You can offer your constructive critiques.
It sucks.
But anyways, it's been a lot of fun. We're trying to record an album, and
nice.
It's been exciting to do. I haven't done that in ages. It's been like 12 years since I've done music. So
yeah, mine's been since '94.
Yeah, man. It's like when you take a break from stuff like this, it's like hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
Not to sidetrack from Power of the Force. Right. Sorry, Oz.
No. Keep going.
So who's next? Are you done with your segment?
I'm done. I'm currently looking at Power of the Force stuff.
Oh no. I got after tonight, I'm gonna go look up Greedo and see how much he is.
I'll send you a couple links. I'll find some decent ones.
But unless you want to send me one, Bobby.
Yeah, when I get to them, I'll send them to you.
Cool.
I put them all in the boxes. Once I bought them, I put them on and stored them away, so they're all like perfect condition.
Man, that's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
Man, I wish
they're worth $3 each.
I know.
Take care of them.
I got a whole closet worth of just fucking Star Wars shit.
That's cool though. That's cool. Well, who wants to go next? Who's excited to share their segment?
Adam.
I can do it. That's fine.
All right. Let's do it.
Welcome to another edition of the Battle Ram Report, brought to you by Adam, author of the BattleRamblog.com website, the best Motu site on the web. He'll throw you a He-Man punch and a Skeletor blast. Be ready to get some knowledge. Take it away, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, brother.
Did I really? I sound like that? Oh, come on.
No,
No, it's just
You sound much
not.
better. Much better.
no, it's just that the music is like it gets you pumped up. You feel like you're in WrestleMania.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
It's awesome. It's badass.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so today's topic, in keeping with the red theme, is the man, the mystery, Zodak, the cosmic enforcer. So this one I did on another podcast, but I haven't done on this one. Apparently, that's what Bobby assures me.
Collectors of Power one. Yeah,
Collectors of Power, yes. So kind of wanted to go over some of the history of Zodak, especially paying attention to the question that everybody argues over: is he good? Is he evil? Is he neutral? The answer, spoiler, is yes. So
yes to all of the above.
yes. So yeah, let's go to the next image. So look a little bit, just some background on the design of the character of Zodak. So if we go to, I think our first image is, yes. So this is designed by Mark Taylor. He was kind of a last minute addition to the first wave of figures because, as a lot of people know, originally there were supposed to be two female figures. It was supposed to be Tila and Sorceress, aka Green Goddess, as she's called by fans. But marketing didn't have faith that two female figures would sell in a boys line, so they dropped Sorceress and brought in Zodak. And you can kind of see in his artwork here, he's from the beginning. It's very clearly called out. He's got, he's a mix of parts. He's got Skeletor arms and legs and Beastman chest, and just a couple of new pieces. In the image to the right, this is where we first get into what's his affiliation, who's he with. And this one, it's basically, in Mark's description, he's allied with He-Man. He's with the Heroic Warriors. So that's the idea from the start. We'll talk a little bit later about kind of, it's not quite that simple. Mark had some other ideas about how he would end up there, but we'll get back to that. So if we go to the next, I forgot that I edited it this way. So that's kind of the description.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, can I just say, if you're noticing how awesome this slideshow is, it's because Adam created this one instead of me. This is a very impressive slideshow. So, high five to Adam.
Oh, cool! Thank you. So, and then this is just kind of showing the cross-sell art. You can kind of see he's very much modeled off. Cross-sell arts are a little different. They're not quite following the toys. I think they predated the toys, but whoever the artist was for these first ones, he just you can kind of see he's grabbing the Skeletor version of those arms and legs. And then in the next one, you can see the prototype, which is, again, the only new bits. You can see his armor is a little rough. It's not quite, it's kind of a quick mock-up. It looks like just the white symbol on his chest has kind of been roughly overlaid there. You can see that in some of the early catalogs.
Which is also on the car of the Dungeons and Dragons. Cartoon.
Yep, that's right.
Similar, I should say.
Yeah, that's right.
Zodak screwed those kids over.
So this is our monkey wrench. So there was a licensing kit that Mattel put out for when they revealed it at New York Toy Fair in February 1982. So they put out this kit, and they're calling Zodak the bounty hunter of Eternia. So, which is only exists in this licensing kit. Never was used as a bounty hunter, to my knowledge, in any story afterwards. But this is an early attempt at trying to figure out who he was.
Totally trying to turn Zodak into Boba Fett of the Masters line. Yeah.
Yep. So, neutral cosmic enforcer. So this is our first stories about Zodak. He's technically neutral in these stories. So there's the 1982 DC Comics miniseries, which was kind of a reboot for the story of Masters of the Universe. There was the early Don Glut Alcala mini comics, which had the one story. The DC Comics was kind of a different continuity, different story. And in this one, you get Zodak kind of interfering because the stars and basically he thought they were saying that He-Man was going to die, and he's trying to prevent He-Man from going after Skeletor. He's trying to maintain this balance of power. But in these series, the series, you do get some panels of He-Man fighting Zodak, or Zodak fighting He-Man because he's trying to stop him from dying. So even though he's neutral, you can kind of see there's this, visually it looks like they're enemies, and you can see how that maybe might lead to a change in his allegiance later on. Yeah, you can see.
Nice, there's Superman.
Yeah. Sword of Skeletor, Golden Books, another one where he's kind of like this neutral thing. Neutral, I say neutral. He's helping He-Man here because Skeletor has gained Castle Grayskull, and he doesn't want Skeletor to get all that power. So, neutral. I think in the sense it often means stepping in either for the bad guys or the good guys, but it usually seems to be on behalf of the good guys. So it's quote unquote neutral. And here he's called a wizard too. Like they call him the Wizard Zodak. I don't know where that came from, but that was it. The next one is PowerPoint Dread, again illustrated by Alcala, but here he's again kind of that positive. He's helping He-Man to prevent Skeletor from tipping the balances of power, showing him to the new toy of the year, which was Point Dread and Talon Fighter. Sold separately in stores.
What? No way.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I see these illustrations, whether it be the cross-sell art or the Alcala illustrations or just the mini comics in general, I just get that wave of nostalgia.
Of course.
Yeah.
Point Dread was like a huge deal to me when it came out. Like I just thought it was so cool, and I never got to get my hands on one. And like all those feelings are coming back to me as we're looking at these. Sorry, I had to say that.
Sorry.
So thank you for that, Adam.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I love this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at it all day.
Yeah.
Allison in the comments asks about the licensing kit. Is that where Stratos was called evil? Evil Skybearer. Yeah. He was called out as evil in that one too.
Cool.
All right. What do we have next? Oh, Filmation.
Yeah.
So again, Filmation. Yes. It sort of takes over from the DC series, where again he's this neutral cosmic enforcer. Like the DC series, he's flying around on this flying version of the Castle Grayskull throne, right? Painted silver in this one. But it's neutral, but it's pretty clear he's not. He's a good person. He's trying to maintain balance. He's just not affiliated with any party.
And that's also the coolest spaceship ever. It's just a chair.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, for sure. There's his model sheet, Filmation model sheet. Bobby was showing us his Filmation Zodak. And this one they opted to give him gloves and human feet rather than the sort of reptilian Skeletor limbs.
Yep.
So this is from the 1982 Bible, written at the end of the year. It's supposed to be like the Bible for both the cartoon and the toy line. So again, you get this thing where he's leader of the Council of Elders, but actually that wasn't specified earlier. Some of this Council of Elders Hall of Wisdom would be brought back in a big way for the Mike Young Productions cartoon, and how they started that series. But again, he's it's kind of some backstory for him. Again, he's neutral, cosmic warrior type person here. And kind of the same thing again for the UK annual, kind of establishes his role as a neutral force in the universe. So so now we're getting to what Bobby's looking for.
Yeah.
Evil. Where did he start to turn evil? Here's one example. This is from David Motu Origins Cork. There was a German a series of German ads, like German Masters toy ads, that was published into a book recently, and he took part of that and translated it. So in those ads, you can see Zodak is aligned with Skeletor in those ads. And that would probably be 83, I'm assuming, because if they're advertising Zodak, they were a year off from us. So Zodak, I think, came out in 83 overseas.
I want to take a moment and let everybody know that the prize, the giveaway tonight, these two figures, the trivia question that we're going to ask tonight is coming from this slide that we're looking at right now. So have a look at it, pay close attention. I'm going to leave it up for just 20 seconds longer while I'm talking. And you got to pay attention to this, because there's a question about a very specific thing in here that we're going to ask in the chat, and that you're going to answer in the chat. And the first person to answer it correctly will get those figures. We're going to come back to that later on, so stick around.
All right, this just got real.
Thanks, Adam.
Just keep that up as long as you need to, and then we'll continue whenever you think people have had enough time.
Now everybody's paying attention.
Now they're paying attention, right? They just like. All right, I think that's enough time.
Now we've fooled you all into stop looking for Star Wars toys. Pay attention to what happens.
Oh wait, that's just us.
I'm looking up the Max Rebo band. Leave me alone.
Oh my gosh, of course. Well, who wouldn't, right? All right. Cool.
All right. So card backs are kind of interesting because they kind of show you the moment where Mattel stopped calling him Cosmic Enforcer and started calling him Evil Cosmic Enforcer. So the first Manny Faces card on the left, he's called Cosmic Enforcer. That would have been out in, I think, February '83. But some of the reissues, sometime, still in '83, a little bit later, you can see, I mean, it's kind of small on the screen, but he's called Evil Cosmic Enforcer on his cross-sell art. And then there's a series of other card backs where you see the same thing. And the next one, there's Faker card back. If we can scooch to the next slide. Yeah, so the original Faker card back was an 8-back, and he's got the standard Cosmic Enforcer. When they started doing the version with the McCarthy artwork on the back, that he's Evil Cosmic Enforcer. Ram Man in Triclops from the beginning, he seems to be evil cosmic enforcer. So those guys came out in, I think, Ram Man, I think, came out in May of '83. So somewhere around then, that's where, marketing is headed, say Zodak is now evil. And then the next one you can kind of see too, Zodak's actual card backs. His original one, again, it says Cosmic Enforcer. Then on his reissue card back, the '83 card back, it's not only it doesn't on the front, it doesn't say Evil Cosmic Enforcer, but it does show, in that anime, in that artwork by McCarthy, he's using his evil power to attack the heroic warriors.
Damn straight.
That is beautiful.
And then there were these ads. This is kind of interesting too. There was these ads in the '83 mini comics, the Texera ones. Some of them, there's also a split there. This version is where he's listed as evil. For some reason, he's got Zodak spelled with a K here, which is also how he ended up being spelled in the 2000X series.
Yeah.
And he's called Evil Cosmic Enforcer, but there's another one in the next slide where he's Zodak with a C, and he's just Cosmic Enforcer. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he's got an evil twin brother.
Who's a fan of Zodak with a K versus Zodak with a C?
Well, see, the way you can tell the difference between the two is that one has a goatee.
I think that's Xanthor.
I thought you were going to say. I started laughing before you even finished the sentence. I thought the way you can find the difference between the two is one's with a K and one's with a C.
That's too obvious.
I know.
Not facial hair. Facial hair keeps you hidden.
What was that, Bobby?
I always go with C.
C, yeah.
Yeah. When I think with the K, it's like 2000X.
Yeah.
And I kind of view that one as almost a different character than this one.
I feel that same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I just feel like that Zodak is like a completely different thing. The original Zodak and again, Bobby, I know you feel he was the evil Cosmic Enforcer, but I view him as neutral.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right. And so, like, for me, Zodak with a K, he is definitely aligned with the side of good, but he's got kind of evil motivations for what he wants to do because of revenge for his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got him originally, I always played him as a bad guy. But in the Filmation cartoon, I always thought he was neutral. So it all depends on what version you have.
Yeah.
I told you I had mixed feelings about him, and it wasn't until recently that I started to remember like how much I played with this figure as a kid.
He's one of my favorites.
He's just got such a cool, weird mask, and there's a lot of mystery behind him. He's great.
Yeah, he is good.
I think he's probably the best underrated character of the original line.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, that Masterverse figure of him is pretty darn amazing.
Yeah, New Eternia Zodak is just
pretty great.
I do have that one.
Yeah.
I cannot go on about that figure as much. I think it's one of the best ones.
I wouldn't have gotten him unless I saw him for cheap. But I'm glad I did, and I probably would have if I knew how cool it was, like in person. I probably would have splurged for the full price on him because he's a great figure.
Yeah. 1984 poster by William George. He's on the evil side. There's the full poster. It shows heroes on the left, evil warriors on the right. He's with the evil warriors here, so it's pretty much cemented by this point. The next one, Ladybird. Who's the voice for Zodak and Filmation? I forget.
I don't know that.
I don't know if it's Lou Scheimer or if it's. He does a lot of the miscellaneous voices.
Yeah, that's true.
If it was him,
we'll have to look that up.
I think it might be. So Ladybird, he's an evil warrior. warrior working with Skeletor. I'll just mention I haven't included these in my article. I need to update it, but there's other stories where he's evil or good, like the Italian Pew stories, like these little short 3-page comics. He's good. I know there's a Swedish series where he's evil, so you can find all kinds of stuff with Zodak. How he's depicted just varies depending on what source they were going off of. Next one is interesting. So this is it's like where's Zodak? What does it have to do with Zodak? So this is Slave City. It was the third wave of comics for the original line, where they had pretty much they weren't, marketing was not interfering at all. They were just kind of doing whatever they wanted really with these stories. But they had this name Zodak, but they didn't know that he was an actual toy. So they made up a design for him and made the story where this Zodak, evil Zodak, has basically captured He-Man. But once they finished it, they found out, oh, there is a toy for Zodak, and he looks nothing like this purple guy with the mask that you created. So they had to change it somehow. So if you go to the next slide, they edited, Zodak to make it Lodar.
Interesting.
And again, with a K, it was Zodak with a K was the name that they had. But because it was a K, they could make it into an R by adding a little loop on there.
I got a side with Allison here. Where is Origins Lodar? Yes, where is Origins Lodar? I hope that Lodar is on the way.
Well, we've seen Geldor, so I mean, he's not out of. We've said it since Frogmonger. The possibilities are endless for who they're going to pull out.
That's true.
So this is, and you can take a screenshot or go back to this if you want. So this is kind of more backstory from Mark Taylor on Zodak. So he had kind of this whole story in his mind where Zodak might have started out on Skeletor's side, learned to respect Man-at-Arms, ended up switching sides back for the heroic warriors. I don't know to what extent this is what his original idea was back in 1981. These are kind of ideas that he's been asked about Zodak over the years, and these are kind of some of the things he said. He also thought that maybe Zodak was not quite human, but he came from a race of people that originally built Castle Grayskull, so he's got a lot of interest in finding out the secrets of Castle Grayskull because his people were involved there, which makes sense. I mean, a lot of people have pointed out the symbol on Castle Grayskull's helmet looks a little bit like Zodak's chest symbol.
Yeah.
If you squint a little bit. So this is something my Danielle Dambranis, he kind of put this together. Yeah. I don't know if you know, if anybody's aware of him, he did the recent mini comics for the new wave of the Legends of Dragonor series. He does a lot of artwork in the style of Alfredo Alcala, so he's a cool guy.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's kind of the story of Zodak. So yeah, he can kind of be whatever you want him to be, I guess. He's had so many different characterizations over the years.
I love this artwork so much.
Yeah, it's great.
It's almost impressionistic, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the canvas underneath the paint. It's so beautiful.
Right. Yeah, there's just enough detail in there, and yet leave it out, fuzz it out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
This was done in oil too.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
Which was a problem because it never, new artists know, oil just doesn't dry. It
doesn't
stays
dry.
wet
It
forever.
doesn't dry fast, that's for sure.
you take it to to Mattel to get photographed, and it gets messed up along the way, and Rudy had to go back and retouch his artwork.
Oh man, that's rough. But there's nothing quite. I mean, you can, if you're an expert with acrylics, you can get close to the look and feel of oil, and if you are doing digital art, you can get close to it, but nothing quite hits that.
I'm sorry.
That
I mean, maybe I haven't found that brush in digital, but I have yet to see a brush that captures the true look and textured look of an oil painting, like real. You can always tell it's too smooth with digital.
There's depth to the paint. There's depth to oil paint, almost like you can see through the layers, but not. And it's a very complex and wonderful thing. I love oil paint.
I can't do it. I'm not a painter like that, but I mean,
I'm not either.
I envy painters because of that.
Yeah, me too. Like painters who can paint like this, like I totally envy you.
Yeah.
I
can draw. Look at that. I can colors good.
Look at that good beast man. That's right. He's fighting on the side of good here.
Yeah. This is one of the most. I mean, it's one of the best pieces of art, but also one of the most confusing pieces of art.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about it, though. I'm just noticing this now, and I've seen this painting before, but just the sword Beastman looks very similar to the swords that they gave Blade when the movie came out for the toy.
Yeah, that's true.
I just never kind of put that together until now. I've been thinking about them releasing Blade in Origins lately, and that's why.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, should we wait longer for the trivia question to see if people can answer it, or should we do it now?
It's up to you guys. Probably do it now, I guess.
Come on, do it. Let's now.
Do it. Right, everybody, here is the question. I'm posting it in the chat. The very first person to answer this correctly in the chat. So the first answer that shows up underneath this question as correct will win the Donatello and He-Man Turtles of Grayskull figures. So here is the question, and I'm showing it now. In the German ads shown in Adam's slides, Beastman was referred to as the servant of the blank. Oh, Bud one. Bud one of the underwide. Yes, that is correct.
Bud was on
the
it.
answer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that was Bud had it ready. He was like,
damn. He had the whole thing copy and pasted on like a sticky note, so he could just highlight.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know.
He knows you because you like Beastman.
He almost finished having it typed before you even highlighted it.
How does that even happen? So, anyways, good job, Bud. You win. Just send me I know I have your address somewhere deep in the chat, but DM me your address again, and I'll send underwear. That's good.
The servant of the underoos.
Yeah.
But I was like, as we were having our discussions tonight, I was like, what from our discussions can I use as the trivia for this? And when I saw underwide, I was like, that has to be it. That has to be it.
Servant of the underwire.
That blurb stuck out to me when I read it. Okay, well, I know Vine Jungle Figure Factory said, "Curse my internet, I was first." I'm so sorry. It was the first one. The first one that showed up was Bud. So Bud, just go ahead and DM me your address again, and I will send you your two figures to the underwide. And if you want to, if you already have these, then pay it forward, my friend. Whoever you want to send them to, or do what you got to do. But yeah, congrats, Bud.
Woohoo! You rock, Bud.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of "Servant of the Underwide" on my shoulder.
Just make sure it's spelled right.
Servant
That's
of the underwear.
Well, no, Bobby, you can be Skeletor's Leb Keeper. That's what it said for Trap Jaw.
Yeah, I saw that. What does that mean?
Lab keeper. I don't know. Lab keeper? I don't know. It's kind of a rough German translation. I think it was some kind of app or something that translated it. So.
Bud was asking, what are the figures again? It's Donatello and He-Man from Turtles of Grayskull. So, and they're carded and in really great shape, unpunched. So if you want to save them that way or pay it forward, whatever you want to do. But Vine Jungle Figure Factory Alan is saying, I live in a cabin in woods, so it's all good. Yeah. And he had it ready too. Yeah, I'm glad it stuck out. Out for people like it did to me. I'll do mine, Bobby, because yours is probably going to be epic. Mine's going to be fairly.
It's not going to be that epic.
Fairly short. Yeah. But it's a good one. You got a good one. So mine's good.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I have an idea.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, folks. I love that. It gives everybody a breather.
I know, right?
What the heck is that?
Someone tuning into this channel is like, I don't know what I just clicked on.
Did someone just hack us?
Well, I wanted to go with red, but I wanted to approach this like I wanted to find a different red, not true red. I wanted to go with crimson. Some people might even argue there's a little bit of purple in this red, but the weekly weirdo, this week's weekly weirdo for me is one of my absolute favorite characters of all time, but recently one of my favorites. I watched this show less than I watched He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but I have fallen in love with this character. I'm absolutely confident that this character was behind all of the bad deeds in She-Ra, Princess of Power. And that is one of my favorites of all time, Shadow Weaver.
Nice.
She is a kind of red. It's more of a crimson, and there's a little bit of purple in there, but that's definitely in the red family. Oh, look, she matches the pink behind there. But I'll just go through this briefly. As everyone knows who collects masters, thank you, Bobby. Everyone who collects masters knows that she wasn't available as a vintage figure. And I remember having the feeling that the few times I engaged with She-Ra, Princess of Power, when it popped on and I'd watch it, I was like, that is the coolest character. She's awesome. Why isn't there a toy of that? Of her. So when she first was made available through Classics, I missed the boat on that. And when she was made available through Club Grayskull as the Filmation version of the character, I missed the boat on that. But as soon as she was available as a reaction figure, she was more in my price range. I think she was at the time $15. That's before they raised their price to $20. I totally was excited to grab her. And so this is the first Shadow Weaver that I ever got, was the reaction Shadow Weaver. And I actually have a deep love for this figure. The simple design works really well with her. She's got a similar articulation as the Emperor had from the vintage Star Wars line, the giant bell bottoms as opposed to a flexible cloak. And I love this figure. The little doodad, the back of her hood is off to the side, which is super weird and fantastic. And then about maybe about a year and a half later, I was on Facebook and participated in one of Cullen Culp's contests. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with Cullen, but he's really awesome. And he does these contests on Facebook where if you pay a little chunk of change and then you're put into the wheel, and then if you win something. And I did eventually get the Club Grayskull version of Shadow Weaver, which is a remarkably cool figure. And in fact, there are the sculpting here is really good. She has zero articulation from here down, but it just looks like she's walking right across the TV screen. She is great, and her hands are very witch-like. There's a lot of details in her hands, and that's just this version of her my favorite version. I know the classics version is great too, but I'm lucky to have this. And then I did find her the Masterverse version of her, which is also great too. You can actually see the green forearms on this figure, which is a really great thing. And she's articulated, and there's soft plastic down here as well. There is kind of a weird bulge in the front because of the articulation, but that's like my only complaint. She ate
too much that day.
She had it's like me every day. That's how I feel. So she's great. And Shadow Weaver is badass. Like I can't express how, when I was a kid, and maybe it was just because I didn't watch that cartoon as much as I watched Masters of the Universe, but I felt like she was not appreciated as a villain. We got all the other villains in the Masters of the Universe line, and then we got the heroes in the Princess of Power line, but we didn't get this iconic female villain until later on. And that's just wrong. So I'm glad we have multiple versions of her now. And I feel like her and Evil Lynn together are just like the queens. I didn't get to see Shadow Weaver's face, but like I even without seeing her face, I have a crush on her charisma. She's great. She's great. So that's my weekly weirdo for tonight. Shadow Weaver.
That's awesome. Have you ever I don't know, just to keep in mind like the 5-inch Super 7 version of her too? Have you seen that one? I'm sure you have. Yeah.
I have seen her, and I have not. I've been really tempted on, to get her off of eBay, but I haven't come across. I just haven't pulled the trigger. She's not extraordinarily expensive, but yeah, she's all right.
Yeah.
Do you have the classics version, Adam?
No, not yet. That's on my list. I don't know. I really want the original classics version, mostly just for that book that she came with, the spell book.
Yep.
But the Super 7 Club Grayskull one's a lot more reasonably priced.
It's reasonably priced, and it's a great figure.
It is.
Yeah.
Like the details on her hands alone. I've never held the classics Shadow Weaver in my hands, so I can't vouch for one being better than the other, but I would say go for the Filmation Club Grayskull one because she's great.
Yeah, just if you do get that one, just be careful when you take it out of the package if you get it in the box, because I pulled her out from the waist and she broke in half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I had to glue it together. Yeah.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed off when that happened.
It
was my fault,
understandably, but yeah, man. It's not really your fault though, because like when you take a figure like that out of the package, you expect it to be of a certain strength, right? And I mean, we've all done it before. I mean, I don't think there's anybody here who's pulled a toy out of a package and not broken one before, right? I mean, like I've done it with some NECA stuff, so
NECA's,
NECA's
used to be very
notorious.
brittle.
Yeah.
I do see where it would have. I didn't realize this. I'm glad you brought that up, Bobby, because I didn't even think there was any articulation from underneath her rib cage down. But
yeah, right.
there is a little bit of articulation here.
Yeah, that's where she broke in half right
and
there.
that I could feel it being a little flimsy there. So yeah, Adam, be careful with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the sculpt on her is just extraordinary. She's great. Yeah, I love the powerful ladies in the Masters of the Universe, Princess of Power universe. They're all the baddies, especially. They're fantastic.
Yes, they are.
I mean, the design of her alone is just like super cool. I did, as the final note of this, I was a little bit frustrated with Revelation and Revolution because I wanted to see Shadow Weaver. And then there's this one scene, I think it's right, I forget which episode it was in Revolution, where she's a hologram. Let me go back. Motherboard is a hologram, and she's red, and she's basically Shadow Weaver. And I thought that was a really smart move on their part to give us Shadow Weaver in that version of the universe.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll probably watch that this weekend.
You got to. It's good,
Bobby,
man.
definitely
Revolution's
good.
Yeah, I finished the first series again, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's much better than the first.
That bad.
Revelation's good, but Revolution's spectacularly.
I heard it's a lot better. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, there's a lot about it that just works effortlessly. It's effortlessly good.
It's hard to say it being effortlessly like that.
Well, for me it is. I can't say effortlessly for some reason. But yeah. Okay, so Allison, sorry, I paused there because I was reading Allison's comment. I should have posted it here. We'll see Shadow Weaver when we get Despara, and Adora. Motherboard was the Skeletor handler. Shadow Weaver, yes. I just thought, this is a good way to give us a little bit of what we're, give us a little bit of Shadow Weaver because they made her that color when she was a hologram. But I'm hoping, well, fingers crossed, we get an Adora story, so we'll get to see Shadow Weaver.
Yep.
There.
Nice.
All right, Bobby.
Now we're at the 2 hour mark. That's what our goal was, right? 2 hours.
We started late, so we're gonna go to. We're gonna go.
Well, it still doesn't mean nothing. It's still we're counted at 2 hours.
I'm sorry. What was that? Sorry.
That was perfect, by the way. Absolutely loved that. Thank you.
Yeah. So, jackass. No, I'm kidding. So I actually changed this in stream, so I didn't do a lot of research because I was going to go with the movies. Fucking faker fell. But I was going to go with the movies, but I decided not to because that's kind of dull. So what I'm going to do is go with a little snapshot of Hellboy, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do the animated version of Hellboy tonight.
God, that's a beautiful figure.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's him from the animated version from 2007.
Yeah.
What they did was they had 2 films come out of cartoons. And these are voiced by the people that were in the movie, like Ron Perlman and all that.
Oh, nice.
And he had Sword of Storms and Blood and Iron. These are fantastic. They're, I believe they're an hour and a half each. 75 minutes each.
Yep.
So yeah, about an hour, 15 minutes. These are very, very good. The voice acting is perfect because it matches with the movie. So if you like the original Del Toro movies,
yes,
this is right on with it. Then they also came out, Dark Horse also came out with the 3 mini comic, and I wouldn't say mini comics, little books. So you had the Black Wedding was number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to go through the stories, but then you had the Judgment Bell, and then the Menagerie. So these 3 they're trade paperbacks is what they are.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're not comics, but they're in the Hellboy animated style. So let me see.
Cool.
Let me try to get a good photo here. Here you go. See, it looks very cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like in
Love
the
that.
animated version of it. But yeah, this is it's very cool. It's a little bit of they don't go with any. They're all separate stories. So none of them are like I don't believe they connect to each other. I haven't read them in probably since 2007. But yeah, these I didn't know if anybody knew that the animated version came out with all of those, but there's the 3 comics and then the 2 movies.
I had no idea. I think I had seen the Hellboy cartoons on Blu-ray or DVD in a store once and just didn't think about it. But I didn't know it was Ron Perlman doing the voices. I mean, that the original cast did the voices. That's really cool.
Yeah, because like when I always read the Hellboy comics, because I have them all, but I always pictured like a voice like his.
Yeah.
As Hellboy, that deeper, rattly voice. And then when I saw the original film, I'm like, this guy's fucking Hellboy. I mean, he plays him
without
just
question.
like how he is. And I love this little figure. He's got the little feet.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's how he looks in the comics. He's got the little hooves and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the movie, Ron Perlman, they had like big legs and boots on.
Yeah.
But they do show him once with these feet real quick while he's standing there. But he's got the little cigar coming out.
That's such a great figure. Now, who made this figure?
Oh shit, I don't remember.
McFarlane, maybe?
No, it might be
like
Mezco. I think it's Mezco. Mezco had a lot of the Hellboy figures.
It kind of.
I want to say it was because my big.
Oh
Hellboy,
boy,
this is the original comic.
Ah,
that gorgeous figure.
He must look great standing next to Trapjaw.
Yeah, he actually stands on the floor by my TV. He's so big, he's like 19 inches.
He's tall enough.
Yeah, and I do have the Ron Perlman version of him too. I should have brought it out, but yeah, Hellboy's means a lot to me. It's one of the only comics I read. So
Hellboy's great. I love the Guillermo del Toro movies. I'm a huge fan of Ron Perlman, period.
Yes.
And when the Hellboy, when I was, I believe it was when I was working at the movie theater, there was a comic book shop right down a couple doors down from the movie theater. That's when I first discovered Hellboy. And then when they announced those movies, I was like, yes, because I was already a big fan of Ron Perlman. Oh yeah, this is a good question, Ace. Who released that giant one? So who made the big one?
I think Mezco did as well.
Mezco made that one.
Yeah, because Mezco, I believe, released all those Hellboy figures back in the day, back then.
It makes sense that it's Mezco.
Yeah, and then a
lot
of them are expensive though now because I don't think a lot of them sold or made. Because Hellboy's not as popular as say like Superman or whatever. But
right,
I love him. He's the best.
He's great.
Yeah. And he's a great character that was created, as a what do you call it? Not affiliated with any of the big names, So it's
cool
that he's
original.
Independent. Yeah. So you got the animated movies and then the 3 comics. So that's all that there is for the animated version. And this figure does come with a stand too. It's like it's got a little base that says Hellboy on it too. But I just wanted to show you the figure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He does not come with the trench coat though. But someone did make the trench coat, and you can buy it on eBay if you wanted to complete them with a coat. But he didn't come with one.
That's cool. Ace is saying that they want a movie accurate Abe Sapien figure.
Yeah, they do have them. They have all of them. Yeah,
I've seen them.
Yeah,
Abe Sapien's great too.
Yeah, Lobster Johnson, all those characters.
I feel like this is just chapter 1 of a series of Hellboy episodes that you could probably
there will be. That's why I didn't want to go with the movies today, because a lot of people probably know about them, but I didn't know if anybody dug deep into Hellboy and knew about the animated stuff. So it is cool.
I'd watched both of the animated movies because like around the time the movie came out, like I found out about Hellboy from Wizard, the magazine. And then I started grabbing back issues here and there. And he was such a cool character, but like there wasn't a whole lot. There's never been a big media presence because he is independent, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So when the movies came out, and then it was like I forget how long after the movies came out, before the sequel came out, they had released those. I was like, oh, this is great. And yeah, I love the fact that they kind of tie in with the movies and everything like that. Like, because I wanted more of that, and we just, I mean, the new one's out with David Harbour, and it's neat. It's
okay. It's got its moments because it does take from several stories, and which is what I like. The original movies really don't have. They're different storylines.
Yeah.
But that David Harbour one does take from the comics more, but the execution isn't as good.
Right.
I don't think.
No, that was
nobody.
my issue.
I don't think anybody. I'm excited to see what this new one's going to be because it's just based on the Crooked Man story. It's a 3-issue comic, so we'll see what that goes. But yeah, I hope it's good. But I haven't seen any clips or pictures or anything.
Nothing
I mean,
yet.
it's like closed, like big time.
And
they've got a tight lid on it.
Yeah.
It's new cast and everything?
Yes, all brand new. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I hope they go with unknowns.
Yeah. I forget the names. They have a list of who's playing the characters. Yeah. But the that storyline is still one of my favorites out of the Hellboys. So cool. it's gonna be cool.
Fingers crossed. Right?
I'm hoping, yeah.
The David Harbour Hellboy looked to me, just from watching the trailer, because I haven't watched the movie yet, but looked a little bit more digital.
Yeah.
They didn't use nearly as many practical effects. It was basically him in a mocap suit, and then they digitized it.
Yeah. I think he's got physical makeup on his
face.
He
does makeup on the face.
Yeah.
Right.
But everything else.
He didn't go full prosthetic like, Ron Perlman did. He's the GOAT.
Ron Perlman had some prosthetic in that movie.
Yes.
I mean,
it would have been so hard to eat buttered sausages with that prosthetic on.
Oh man.
It just greased right on out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. There's not a lot of Hellboy animated, but that's everything that's what I showed. So.
Do you think they're streaming anywhere? Like
they might be.
I'll have to look into it because I'm itching to watch them now.
Yeah, they're good. You'll like them. Yeah. If you like the 2 movies from Del Toro, you would like these. They fit in right there.
Yeah.
It's just they're cartoony more than the adult comic version.
But the best part about it is like they're not toned down for kids, though.
Yeah.
Which to me that's important because you can't really have a kid-friendly Hellboy.
Right.
No, you can't really. Although that would be pretty adorable, like a Muppet Babies version.
I do have comics of. It's called Little Hellboy.
Oh.
So they are kids versions. And then I have the original ones also. What are they called? Tiny Hellboy. I can't remember what it's called. I hadn't read them years and years ago, but I have them. But yeah, there's Little Hellboy, and then there's Young Hellboy, which is Hellboy is when he was a kid. But that's for the adult version. But there's like another 6 comics or something that were Little Hellboy. I can't remember the name of them. Young Hellboy or something.
When Skelly checks his phone after the show, he's gonna be like, "What are all these links?"
Oh, you're sending me a bunch of links. Cool, awesome.
I've been sending you links all night, brother.
Just watch out for the 3rd and 4th one.
That's right. That's right.
The buttered sausage links.
That's right. You have to say butter every time a person says buttered sausage. You have to say it as if your dentures are about to fall out. That's how you have to say it. Buttered sausage. I don't know how to do it, but that's the only way. Well,
all right. So it
that
won't let me
brings
send you these links over Messenger. I'll email them to you.
Okay, buttered sausages and dentures.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Did you see me dancing?
I know you're.
I
Like,
love that.
I was totally dancing to the whole thing.
It's so good. I don't know why. I don't know why that one's my favorite one.
It's stupid.
It's
That's why.
so dumb. It's so great. It's the perfect kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So what you all got coming up? What do you have to promote? What's exciting? What's going on?
Go ahead, Adam.
So I started working on meteorbs, but then halfway through I realized I'm an idiot if I don't reach out to Joe Amato and ask what he's got. So he's getting me some stuff for that.
Cool.
Because he's the meteorbs guy. So in the meantime, I just did an article about laser bolts. So that's up for Patreon supporters. It'll be out for everybody, I think, probably Monday. And then I'm starting to think I'm running out of figures from the vintage line to do. So I'm starting to think about things like Strobo, Evil Robot. It's more stuff that was, people know about. Would have been a figure, but was not really. So I'm looking at stuff like that now.
Cool.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
Good. Yeah, it is.
I'm excited to read about meteorbs. It's one thing that I've always been like not so interested in. Just not. But the more you know, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to read about that.
One does show up in the Filmation cartoon from She-Ra.
Yeah.
Yep.
They tried to tie it in. They tried to tie in everything that they did with the animated properties while they were going. They did try to include them. That's why Snake Men got lumped into the Horde and everything else, just because they wanted to incorporate it, because that would help sell the toy.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that Adam is still expanding his site. That's awesome.
Oh, it's so great.
Yes.
I love that. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I mean, someone could just do what they did and then say, "Yeah, it's good." There's enough information out there, but he's starting to dig in more now. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I keep thinking like some of the early stuff I did, like I didn't go as deep as I would go now. So like at some point, I gotta revisit some of the older stuff.
Yeah, you can refresh all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that you might not have known at the time, or like or whatever.
More mysteries uncovered.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm glad.
You hear my dog?
Yeah.
He's like,
my dog's doing the same thing over there. It's just it's that time. Like it's almost time to go. He knows that it's time to go out and use the restroom.
Ooh,
before bed.
Time to go out.
Bobby, how about you?
Yes, I since we weren't on last week, I did have a universe story that came out on Monday called Ribcage. Duchess of Darkness narrated that one. Skelly, if you were saying earlier you like monsters and stuff, that one's for you. It's a story I came up with back in 1993. But it was a very short story, so now I expanded it to fit in with the Decker stuff.
Nice.
So that one I'm very happy with. I'm excited because I wanted my view was there's a Rawhead Rex from Clive Barker back in the day from his Book of Blood, and then Pumpkinhead.
Yes,
which I love those two, and I wanted to come up with my own creature.
Yes,
and I did years and years and years ago. So now I finally have that story out for people to hear, and I'm very excited about it. And then tomorrow comes out my new episode or part 4 of the Case 2. And I finally get to bring a character that I've actually created with Decker's stuff from the very, very beginning. I just couldn't fit him in the first storyline. So I was able to bring him in, which it's perfect for this one. So
Fantastic.
I'm very happy with that. And as you know, I've been pushing out some images of stuff that's upcoming. I still haven't shown everything yet. I've just been creating like crazy. I have enough shit all the way up probably through next February. So
it's incredible.
Yeah, so I'm excited for all that to grow. And I just created a Reddit account. So if you're on Reddit, go check that out.
Cool.
And my merch store, I have all kinds of new coffee mugs. Buy the set of 6 if you want.
Yeah, do it. I love that you went through this dry spell and then it's a flood.
Well, I'm telling you, it was that damn fucking COVID.
Yeah, I agree.
That brain fog, and I just couldn't get out of it. And then boom, after it was like one day it was gone, and then it's like my creativity is just exploded. So
I'm so glad, and it's such a great like explosion of material.
Yes.
So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I got to stop. I got to slow down because I get too excited. I'm like, oh, this character's cool. I'll do something with this, and I was like, nope, I got all this lined up first.
Yeah, flesh it all out and then release it over time. That way you've always, if you have a backlog of stuff to keep releasing, if you get some more brain fog and you got to take a break, you've still got stuff you've got coming out. So don't slow down. Keep it going.
No, I have to keep it going because I counted the weeks and then how many episodes I have, and I want to do this one thing for Halloween, so I have to keep up with it.
Oh,
good.
Yeah,
that's great. Make it happen.
Yeah.
We have Bobby's version of the long Halloween. I dig it.
Dig it. Hell yeah.
Great.
And then, like I said, if you join the Patreon too, I'll be sending out when I get stickers made, so all that shit.
Very
and
cool.
Then my merch store. Well, I already said the merch store. So,
but yeah, the merch store. There's a lot of good stuff in there too.
Yeah. Yep. There is.
Does Skelly get a stranger shirt?
I was gonna get. Well, I didn't create a shirt, but I did do the mugs. So I told him I was going to send him a coffee mug. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Since he did that.
Yeah. I get my creep on with my stranger mug.
You got to wear a lab coat when you drink out of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Stir it with a syringe.
There you go.
Pinky up. Don't forget.
That's right. Pinky up. Speaking of pinky up, if you're interested in Toy Frenzy merch, this is the last month you can get Toy Frenzy merch from the Toy Frenzy store right down below. That will be at the end of April. That'll be switching over to the Frenzy stuff. So get your collectible Toy Frenzy stuff now while you can. You don't have to, but why not, right? You're watching, you enjoy it.
Well, it helps supports us, and you also get an item as well.
Yeah, it helps us create new things too. Yeah. So definitely. For me, I've got, I'm still working on Snake Mountain. At this rate, I think I'll be done late May, early June. I really love that it's coming together and becoming a more solid thing. I'm going to be tapering off my physical artwork and focusing a little bit more on getting this album done. So I'll be playing with the air, so to speak, with the band a little bit more. And so again, the Instagram link for No And is here. Just at no_and_band if you're interested in giving us a follow and keeping track and offering your Frenzynauts brilliant constructive critiques. And I don't know, I just really like what's happening with the Frenzy because I get to keep doing my weekly weirdo, and I love that we're each getting our own little spot to talk about stuff. I do have to say I miss Sean coming on. So Sean, if you're watching this, you ever feel like coming back, making an appearance or what have you, just let us know. And Ace, you said playing with the air. Do I mean theremin? Man, this This is funny. My dad has a theremin. I got him a theremin for his 50th birthday. So that could be incorporated in the future, I think. Maybe.
Do it. Does your dad actually play?
Yeah, he messes around with it.
Okay.
He messes around with it. He got it because he wanted to, he likes music too, and he wanted to mess around with it. And it's fun to watch him do it.
Does he do the Doctor Who song?
I don't know if he does the Doctor Who song, but I've played a lot with it too. I love the theremin. But the playing with the air thing is a Tom Waits quote. He said, "Making music is just another way to play with the air," and I was like, "Fucking Tom Waits is brilliant, man."
Yeah.
Anybody comes up with an idea
what
like
it
that.
is.
Yeah. Wow. So Ace says that Ace has a theremin as well. That's cool.
That's great.
But yeah, that's it for me. How about you, Oz?
Well, guys, as I already stated, really excited about coming up in the month of May, and pretty soon Brick and I should be having hopefully our first Legions class study guide video coming out, where we're going to go back to the beginning of what Legions class was. We're going to start over with the lore and get into the history. So hopefully we will have that coming soon. And then, of course, this Saturday night, we'll be doing another Clubhouse where I think we're going to get into an interesting topic. Well, I mean, we always get into an interesting topic, but I think we're going to have a really clever one that happened with a bit of trolling on Monday night. I'm not sure if anybody was watching Monday night on Lawrence's Toy Ramblings. They may know a little bit about what was going on there, and we may discuss that a little bit. But other than that, I've got this really great